For 4 long years, the beating heart of Burkina Faso's football spirit fell silent. The August 4th Stadium, once a symbol of pride, unity, and ambition, stood idle, its seats gathering dust, its fields stripped of the roar of thousands, its walls echoing with memories instead of cheers. This was not merely a stadium in disrepair, it was the soul of a nation forced into exile. Closed for failing to meet international standards, the stadium's silence mirrored the frustration of a people who had long yearned for a return to normalcy, a return to home. But on July 1st, 2025, that silence was shattered. The Confederation of African Football, CAF, officially approved the newly rehabilitated and renovated August 4th Stadium, ushering in a new era for Burkina Faso. This approval wasn't just about football. It was a signal to the world. Burkina Faso is rising, rebuilding, and reclaiming its place, not just in sport, but in dignity and sovereignty. The announcement electrified the nation. The Etalons, Burkina Faso's national football team, had endured years of exile, playing their home games in foreign lands. Every match away felt like a reminder of what had been lost. While other nations roared with the support of their people, the Etalons fought battles on neutral grounds, often against hostile crowds, always without the power of their own fans behind them. But now all that changes. The people of Ouagadougou awoke to the news with joy in their hearts. Images of the stadium's new look flooded the internet. The once faded walls now glistened with fresh paint. The pitch, once bare and neglected, now gleamed with rich green turf, ready to host heroes once more. The stands were fitted with new seating, and modern facilities met the rigorous standards of international football. But let us pause and reflect, because the story of this stadium is far more than bricks and grass. The August 4th Stadium, named after the date of Thomas Sankara's historic revolution in 1983, is steeped in the spirit of liberation. It represents a legacy of courage and collective will. And so, its rehabilitation is not merely a renovation project, it is a symbolic resurrection of Sankara's dream, a strong, self-reliant, united Burkina Faso. When the stadium was originally closed, it felt like a slap to the face of the nation. It was a harsh judgment from the international football community. CAF's decision to revoke the stadium's status as a suitable venue pointed to more than just inadequate facilities. It reflected a wider perception that Burkina Faso wasn't keeping up, that its infrastructure, its systems, and perhaps even its dreams were falling apart. But what the world didn't understand is that Burkina Faso was preparing for something greater. Under the leadership of Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the country has embarked on a path of renewal, one that prioritizes dignity, sovereignty, and investment in local potential. The renovation of the stadium became a symbol of this broader national transformation. It was not outsourced blindly to foreign contractors. It was not a flashy project meant to please international investors. No, it was a project born of grit, designed and executed by Burkinabe hands for Burkinabe hearts. The timeline was ambitious. Resources were tight. The country, facing both economic sanctions and security challenges, had every reason to delay such a project. And yet, the work continued, day after day, brick by brick. Young engineers, architects, and construction workers poured their skills and sweat into the stadium. Community members volunteered to clean the area, plant trees, and provide meals to workers. Artists painted murals of Sankara, Traoré, and iconic Etalons moments on the outer walls. Even children watching the stadium rise again felt something shift. It was a collective awakening. Midway through this story, let's take a moment to thank our loyal subscribers and viewers of Voice of Africa. Your constant support allows us to continue telling these powerful African stories, stories of struggle, of pride, and of redemption. If you believe in what we do, please consider subscribing, sharing, or supporting through Super Thanks. Every gesture helps keep the Voice of Africa strong and independent. Back to our story. The moment CAF's decision came down on July 1st, the streets erupted. Young men on motorcycles waved the Burkinabe flag, women ululated with joy. Local radio stations played victory songs, while TV anchors could barely contain their emotion as they announced the news. Le Stade du 4 août est de retour. There was dancing, drumming, and spontaneous street parades. Because again, this was never just about football. It was about bringing the Etalons home. It was about children seeing their heroes in person, not on distant screens. It was about elders reliving memories of past victories, of packed stadiums and shared pride. It was about reclaiming a national space that had been taken away. And now, the anticipation for the first home game is growing by the minute. Burkina Faso's first official match at the renovated stadium is set to be a monumental occasion. Already, thousands have pre-registered for tickets. Local businesses are preparing for an economic boom. Hotels are filling up. Food vendors are perfecting their recipes. It will not just be a game, it will be a celebration of national resurrection. But the impact of the stadium's reopening goes beyond the capital. In the towns and villages, radio signals carry the message, "We are back." Young players in dusty neighborhoods look toward Ouagadougou with dreams reignited. Football academies are being revived. Youth tournaments are being organized. For many, the reopening has become a rallying point, a symbol that their dreams are valid and that they too can rise from the ashes. Internationally, CAF's approval of the stadium is also a diplomatic win. It sends a message that despite political and security challenges, Burkina Faso remains capable of maintaining international standards. It challenges the narrative of decline and dysfunction often imposed by Western media. It shows that under the right leadership, African nations can rebuild with pride and without begging for validation. Of course, challenges remain. Security at the stadium will need to be tight. Infrastructure around the area needs constant maintenance. And there is always the danger of politicizing sports, turning football into a battlefield for other agendas. But for now, the overwhelming feeling in the country is one of joy. After years of waiting, after matches played in foreign stadiums, after headlines that doubted the nation's ability to recover, the people of Burkina Faso have delivered a powerful answer. We're not just standing, we're playing. With this victory, the eyes of Africa turn toward Ouagadougou. Nations that once scoffed now send congratulations. Coaches who once doubted now speak of the August 4th miracle. And youth across the Sahel region are reminded that hope is not a luxury, it is a necessity. In closing, this story is about much more than sport. It is about resilience. It is about reclaiming a national asset and using it to inspire future generations. It is about dignity in the face of adversity. It is about the power of unity and national will. The August 4th Stadium has returned, not as it was, but as it should be, a monument to the past, a platform for the present, and a launchpad for the future. Burkina Faso has spoken, not through words but through action. The whistle is about to blow. The Etalons will run out onto their home field once again. The people will rise as one, and the world will bear witness to the rebirth of a nation that never gave up. This is the voice of Africa. This is Burkina Faso, and the stadium is open.